Hi everybody, Sean Woodland and Annie Sakamoto here at the ranch in Aromas, California, the site of Phase 2 of the 2020 Reebok CrossFit Games, and we continue to preview the individual athletes who will be competing here in person for the title of Fittest on Earth. And on the women's side, the fourth place finisher is a woman who, it seems like ancient history, the last woman to stand on top of the podium who wasn't named Tia-Clair Toomey, Katrin Davidsdottir, and it's funny, a lot of people kind of overlooked her coming into Phase 1.
Right, and I think what Katrin did this weekend was to tell us all, don't ever count out a past champion. To see what she was able to do after being in a pretty decent hole after 2 events was quite impressive, yet not surprising coming from Katrin Davidsdottir.
Yeah, and you mentioned don't ever count out a former champion, and she did have one hiccup to start, but then after that, she showed why she was the prior fittest woman on earth.
Right. I mean, she, like we said, she was 22nd after 2 events, and then she needed pretty much nothing shy of a couple of wins to come out, to dig herself out of that hole. That's exactly what she did, and that's a pretty tall order when you look at the field of competition she was in. She came out and won both of the first 2 events on day 2, which put her into 3rd place. You know, she has an uncanny ability when her back is up against the wall to make a big move. And again, very impressive, though not surprising.
Right, but the problem is that she does put her back against the wall, and she'll have to avoid that here at the ranch in Aromas, California. And you take a look at what she did over the 7 events in phase number 1, and it was the first competition window, the first 2 events that really were the ones that hurt her, a 12th and then a 27th in the 1-rep max front squat. But then after that, everything inside the top 11, and then back-to-back wins in events 5 and 6, and that's what catapulted her up the leaderboard, and then she does enough to hang on to a spot in the top 5 with a finish of 7th place in event 7. And we spoke with the former 2-time CrossFit Games champion following her effort in event 7.
I know, like, on a leaderboard, I didn't start out phenomenal yesterday, but with the way that my back's been, I haven't been able to squat, and that's what my squat is. You know, it wasn't a bad day for me. It was just it wasn't a phenomenal thing either. It was just, it was what it was, and I kind of have a tendency to start out kind of slow, so it was one of those, like, I did that again, but like from there, I was like, I'm here to fight, and I'm here to, we've worked so hard this year to get to this point, and I want to make it worth it. And I think I really found kind of the setting was like a blessing in disguise for me in a way that it felt home. You know, I stayed home, and I had my family was on a screen, and I have my family here, and commentary made it so special. Like, the energy was electric, and it was like a competition floor.
We said it multiple times now, never count out a former champion, but why could Katrin Davidsdottir regain her title here in Aromas?
Look, I think outside of Tia, we're dealing with a lot of athletes that, depending on the test, physically, some may rise to the top, some may struggle. So really what the test then comes down to over the course of multiple events is who's got it in between the ears. And I would say that when pressure is on, that would be Katrin Davidsdottir.
And with no crowd and only 4 other athletes competing against her here, the mental game is going to be huge for Katrin Davidsdottir and her fellow competitors. Phase 2 of the Reebok CrossFit Games, the 2020 Reebok CrossFit Games, kick off on October 19th here at the ranch in Aromas. You will be able to watch all the action live across multiple outlets, including Facebook and YouTube. That is it for us. For Annie Sakamoto, I'm Sean Woodland. Be sure to check out the rest of the individual previews that we have up from the other athletes who will be competing here in Aromas.